All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down a set of habits that, according to the source material we're looking at, don't just get in the way of success, they actively guarantee failure. And look, this isn't about small mistakes here and there. We're talking about the daily routines that can literally lock you into a cycle you can't escape.
Yeah, that's a direct quote, and it's pretty intense, right? The word infected is used on purpose. It suggests these habits are like a virus. They spread, they take over, and they corrupt the system if you let them. So the whole point here is to spot them before they do any more damage.
At the end of the day, it really just boils down to this question. Every single day, with every small choice you make, you're walking down one of these two paths. So let's hold up a mirror to those habits and figure out which direction you're really headed.
Okay, first up, the consumption trap. This is all about what you're feeding your brain every day. Are you actually consuming things that add value, that build you up, or are you just killing time?
You know, the source gets into the science here, and it's fascinating. That endless scroll of short videos, it's not just harmless fun. It's training your brain to need these constant, tiny hits of dopamine. And over time, that fragments your attention span and leads to what the source actually calls brain rot. You literally lose the ability to focus. But deep learning, from books, from long-form content, that builds on itself. It's cumulative. It gives you real skills and a serious long-term edge.
So, how big of an edge are we talking about?
Well, it can be boiled down to a single number.
5.
And here's the claim, and it's a big one. The source argues that reading and actually applying the knowledge from just 5 high-quality books in your field can give you the equivalent knowledge of a new university degree. Think about that. That's the huge difference between snacking on 30-second clips and actually accumulating real wisdom.
So that's the question you have to ask yourself. Where are you getting your information? But, you know, what you consume is only half the battle. What you do with your time, well, that's a whole other story.
All right, section 2 is the action deficit. This is all about what we do. And the source material is crystal clear on this. If you always choose the easy path, the path of least resistance, well, it leads to a very, very crowded dead end.
And you know, this isn't some new idea. The source brings up this powerful thought from Albert Einstein. He believed the real separator between people isn't what they do from 9 to 5, it's what they do with their free time. Those hours are where your future is really decided.
And here are those choices laid out plain as day. You've got the consumer path. It's passive, right? You watch, you play, you gossip. The result? You stay exactly where you are. Stagnation. Then there's the creator path. This is active. You use your free time to learn, to build something, to research. Every little bit of effort you put in here adds up, creating what the source calls a cumulative advantage. The source uses this perfect phrase, picking low-hanging fruit. It's the habit of only doing the easy stuff, the things that don't require any real thought or skill. And what's the problem with that? Well, everyone is going for the easy fruit. You end up in this massive competition based on who can hustle the hardest, not who can think the smartest.
So this is the fundamental difference in mindset. The easy path is all about getting things for free, finding shortcuts. You're competing with millions of other people doing the same thing. But the value path, that's about investing your time and energy to get skills that solve hard problems. The secret is that successful people don't avoid hard things, they work at them until the hard stuff becomes easy for them. And suddenly, they're competing with almost no one.
And that brings us to our final and maybe the most critical section, the mindset prison. We've talked about what you consume and what you do. Now we have to look inward, because your internal software, your beliefs, determines your external results. So the source points to these 4 things as the bars on your mental prison cell. Playing the victim, which means nothing is ever your fault. Being complacent, which just kills your drive. That constant negative voice in your head. And maybe worst of all, believing that you are what you are and that your value can't change. Let's just zoom in on that victim mindset for a second. When something goes wrong, the victim asks, whose fault is this? They look for sympathy, but they stay completely stuck. The problem solver, on the other hand, takes ownership. They ask, okay, what can I do about this? They look for a solution, and they move forward. Wow!
This is such a powerful metaphor for complacency from the source, selling yourself wholesale. It means you've accepted your salary as the final price tag on you. You've let someone else decide what you're worth, and you've stopped trying to increase that value. It's the ultimate form of settling.
And this is what happens when those mindsets completely take over. You become trapped. You're the star and the only audience member in this theater inside your own head, just replaying all your failures over and over. You're not a prisoner of your circumstances. You're a prisoner of your own thoughts.
So, after looking at how we consume, how we act, and how we think, we're right back where we started, with a choice. And the thing is, these habits aren't separate. They all feed into each other, creating one powerful cycle. And this visual just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's a vicious cycle. You consume junk, which leads to wasting your time on meaningless actions. That gets you stagnant results, which of course feeds a negative mindset. And what does that negative voice tell you to do? Go back to the easy dopamine hit of more junk consumption, and the whole thing starts all over again. So how in the world do you break a cycle that powerful? The source is very clear. You don't do it with some giant heroic leap. You do it with one tiny step. The way out is a single 5-minute action. That's it. Read one page, do one push-up, watch one tutorial. Just get a small win. Prove to your brain that you can do it. And then do it again tomorrow. That's how it starts.
So we'll end on this thought. If both success and failure are just the result of thousands of tiny choices, then the only one that really matters is the next one. So, what's the one small 5-minute action you're going to take today to start walking down a different path?